Hello and welcome to today's installation video. Today we'll be installing this LED mirror up on the wall. So let's go ahead and see what's inside the box. The product comes well packed inside the box. What we'll do is we'll take the four corners off. There's a padding on all four corners, and remove the bubble wrap, and then we'll get a look at the product. Now we get to see the front of the mirror, and a couple of things about the front of the mirror. You can see the LED strips that go all the way around the mirror behind the frosted glass. Also, you can see that there's a nice beveled edge all the way around, and the on-off switch is right here on the front of the mirror. Let's take a look at the back of the mirror now, because that's the business side of the mirror. And on the back here, we can see that we have a couple of mounting points. These are the points that we're going to use if we mount it in a landscape type method. These two mounting points are if we use it in a portrait type method. And then the last piece is this adjustable leg here, which will help keep it flat against the wall. Now that we've talked about the mounting points at the back of the mirror, now we talk about the electrical connection. The electrical connection will be done in this black box. We'll take the screws out of that, we'll show you what that looks like. And just an FYI, this black thing here is actually the back of the power switch. So here we can see the sticker on the back says mains in. This is where the power is going to be coming from your wall box. From here, clamped down, your line and your neutral are going to be going in here. So we're going to be sending 120 volts into this side of the LED power supply, and coming out will be 12 volts DC. That 12 volts DC will go into this wiring harness and then to the LEDs. So now we can see the back of the mirror, and on the back of the mirror there's a couple things I want to point out. We've showed how to make the connection for our 120 volt into the back of the mirror. So what we've done is we've attached a jumper cable, and this jumper is going to allow us to make easy connections at our wall outlet. Our wall outlet is going to be directly behind the mirror. So we just need to make sure we have enough to make a good connection, and then that will allow someone to hold it up and hang it while the other person is pushing the wires into the box. So let's take a look at our mounting points here on the back. You can see there's a mounting point here and here. These are the mounting points that we would measure and use if we were hanging the mirror in a landscape mode. But we're going to be hanging this in a portrait mode, which is the narrow side up and down. So we're going to be measuring the distance between these two holes, and that distance is going to be translated onto the wall, and then we will hang our mirror in this spot on the wall in front of this outlet. We've measured the distance between these two, and these are 10.5 inches apart. The mirror that you get may differ, so make sure that you do your own measurements. But for our installation of this particular mirror today, we are going to be measuring 10.5 inches, which is, we find the center spot of the hole, and we measure 5.25 to the left and to the right, and that'll center it over this box. So I'm going to be going from where the box is on the wall. I'll be going up about 15 inches, and that will center this black box on the area on the wall. So here's about 15 inches up here, and this is going to be our area where the height of our holes are going to be. So now we'll make our mark at 5.25. There's where our holes will be. So we can take a look at the items in my hand. We have 2 anchors for the wall and 2 screws. We're going to now use a drill to drill a hole to insert the anchors into the wall. Now we've installed our mounting screws. Now it's time to make our electrical connections. Before you make your electrical connections, please make sure that the circuit is dead by turning off the circuit breaker. I like to turn the circuit breaker off and also test the wires with a meter to make sure that they are indeed dead. So now we're ready to make our connections from the jumper wire to the wires in the wall in the junction box. When you're doing this, always make sure that if you are not comfortable doing this, to make sure that you have a licensed and bonded electrician that can do this work for you, and make sure that this is installed per the local electrical codes. So in this case, with our wiring, our purple is our line and our gray is our neutral. So I'm going to tie our neutrals together first. And then our line. And there's our connection. All right, so what we've shown you today is a general installation overview of these types of mirrors. They're all going to mount in a very, very similar way. The only thing that will change are the distances between the mounting holes, but everything else, the wiring and the mounting is the same. So we have made our electrical connection in the back. We have hung it now on the wall in front of the junction box. We've turned on our circuit breaker, and now's a moment of truth. Let's see if it actually works. And it does. So another successful installation. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let us know. And we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here at WarmlyYours.com.